Balzac was a French writer. He lived in the 19th century and is best known for his large series of novels called The Human Comedy. This series shows the lives of many different people in France. Balzac wanted to show the complex society of his time. His works include stories about rich people, poor people, and everyone in between. Balzac was born in 1799 in Tours, France. From a young age, he was very interested in books and writing. He loved to read about history, art, and politics. When he was a teenager, he decided he wanted to be a writer. However, writing was not an easy path for him. He struggled for many years before becoming successful. Before he became famous as a writer, Balzac tried many different jobs. He worked as a printer, a publisher, and even tried to start his own business. Unfortunately, his business failed and he lost a lot of money. He also had many debts because of his attempts to start new businesses. Balzac's life was full of struggles, but he never gave up on his dream of becoming a writer. In the 1820s, Balzac began to write novels. He wrote about many different subjects including love, money, and social problems. His early books were not very successful, but he did not stop writing. Slowly, his works began to get more attention. By the 1830s, he was writing many books, and people started to notice his talent. One of the most famous things about Balzac is The Human Comedy. This is a huge collection of over 90 books. It shows many different characters from all walks of life in France. Some of the characters are rich, while others are poor. Some are good people, and others are bad. Balzac wanted to show everything about society, from the problems of the poor to the greed of the rich. The characters in Balzac's books are very real. They have dreams, desires, and problems just like real people. For example, in one of his most famous novels, Eugénie Grandet, Balzac tells the story of a young woman named Eugénie. Her father is very rich, but he is also very mean. He does not want to give her any money, and he does not want her to marry anyone. The story shows how Eugénie tries to find happiness in a difficult situation. The characters in Balzac's books often face problems that are very hard to solve, and they do not always find the happiness they want. Another famous novel by Balzac is Lost Illusions. This novel is about a young man named Lucien, who dreams of becoming a famous writer. He moves to Paris, hoping to make his dreams come true. However, he soon learns that the world of literature is full of corruption and lies. People do not always care about talent. They care about money and connections. Lucien's story is sad because he becomes disappointed with the world around him. Many of Balzac's novels show how people's dreams are crushed by the harsh realities of life. Balzac's writing is also famous for its detailed descriptions of people and places. He took great care to create realistic characters, and his readers could easily recognize them as real people. Balzac wrote about the clothes people wore, the houses they lived in, and the way they spoke. His stories show the little details of life in France in the 19th century. He wanted his readers to understand what it was like to live in that time and place. Despite the long hours he spent writing, Balzac had a difficult life. He worked very hard, writing for many hours each day. He had a habit of drinking too much coffee to keep himself awake. This habit may have hurt his health. Balzac also had many debts because of his failed business ideas. He often had to borrow money to pay for his living expenses. His life was stressful, but he kept working on his writing. Balzac's health continued to get worse, and in 1850, he became very ill. He died at the age of 51. Even though he did not live a long life, his work had a big impact on literature. Today, he is considered one of the greatest writers in French history. His books are still read by people all over the world. Balzac's influence can be seen in the work of many writers who came after him. His detailed descriptions of characters and society inspired writers like Marcel Proust and Charles Dickens. Many of his themes, such as the power of money, the dangers of ambition, and the complexity of human nature, are still relevant today. Even though Balzac's life was difficult, his writing continues to be important. He showed people the realities of life in the 19th century and created characters that readers can still relate to. His books continue to teach us about the human condition and the challenges people face in life. In conclusion, Balzac was an important writer who gave us a detailed picture of French society in the 19th century. Through his characters and stories, he showed us the dreams and struggles of people from all walks of life. Even though his life was full of challenges, his dedication to his work made him one of the most important writers of his time. Today, his books are still read and appreciated by people all over the world.